What's going on, Love Alchemists? How are y'all doing today? Listen, I want to tell you, you don't quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere deep inside you were taught not to allow yourself to win. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dig into that today, okay? So if you're seeing this in the hallways, the TikTok hallways, come on in. My name is Lisa, Love Alchemist, Timeline Architect, energy healer, Reiki master, Akadawa master initiate, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't care about titles. I'm just sharing a little bit about you, about me to you guys. But again, I want you to know you don't quit because you're lazy, right? You quit because somewhere deep inside you were taught you are not allowed to win. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get a little deep, and we need in order to break the loop of self-sabotage, we need to first be aware of it, and we need to understand where it came from. You didn't just wake up and all of a sudden you don't think that you can win. If you think back to when you were younger, you believed in yourself. You knew you could win. Your dreams, your imaginations were very big, very vivid. You knew you could do it. But as you got older, you don't have the same belief in yourself. Life has a way of conditioning us, the things that we were taught, especially, no shade to the brothers, but especially as women. We're going to go into this today, okay? We're going to talk about all of that. You're going to talk about how you start strong, but when it's time to finish, you freeze. You stop. You go for the next shiny thing. We're going to talk about that today. And it's important that we understand why we do the things that we do. Matter of fact, let me share this out to some of my peoples. I know I hope she's better. That's it for now. So anyway, let me take some water. Again, you don't quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere deep inside you were taught you're not allowed to win. So we're gonna talk about that today. What's up, Lamore? What's up? How you doing today? Thank you for coming back. We're gonna go. It says, oh, I don't. TikTok be bugging. It's good to see you. What's up, Peach Travel? How are you doing today? Come on in. If you ever quit something and you thought you were lazy, we're going to talk about that today, because you're not lazy because you quit. Somewhere deep inside, you were taught you're not allowed to win. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're going to go a little bit. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear. Glad to hear that you're good. You're doing good. And we're gonna go a little bit deeper. I know you was with me on Wednesday, Lamo, but we're gonna go a little bit deeper today. Okay. Thank you for connecting with me, Peach Travel. And I have connected back. Okay. So I'm gonna dig in, jump in, whatever. So again, you don't quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere along the line you were taught you're not allowed to win. Okay. Thank you for joining my theme. Thank you for my daily heart me. I was like, what am I trying to say? Thank you for my daily heart me. I appreciate you. Okay, so you start strong, right? But when it's time to finish, you freeze. And if you're anything like I am, and you think back, I should be happy for the next 2 days. My birthday coming up. Yes, I know. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. Yeah, mine was on the 15th. So, like Leos, Virgos, you know how we do. Like, we kind of like we celebrate the whole month. So you probably going to celebrate all the way through the end of September. I know, like for me, I'd be like, yeah, you're welcome. I'd be celebrating like, hey, it's August 1st. I'm like, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's really on the 15th, but it's my birthday. And I still feel like it's my birthday through the end of the month. But if you're anything like me, right, you start strong, and then when it's time to finish, you freeze, and then you start like, what is wrong with me? When I was younger, if I said I was going to do something, I got it done. And I noticed I started asking myself those type of questions, like, what in the world is wrong with me? When I was younger, if I had a goal, I hit that goal, I accomplished that goal. But in my adult years, it was like I would give up on myself, right? I gave up on football, so I understand how you feel. Yeah, I gave up on track, right? And same. And and that's one of the things, that the pain of regrets, and we have to learn to forgive ourselves for that. And I know everything, I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and it's usually to teach us. So we have the records of, I really love this and I gave up on it. And I gave up on it because of other people, right? Not getting the support that I felt that I needed from my mom. The one of the coaches wasn't really training me the right way, and I didn't have the voice to speak up for myself. And no shade to the men, but for women, a lot of times we're taught. I've actually done a lot. I think about the past a lot. Yeah, I think, for women, a lot of times we're conditioned to be seen, not heard. We're conditioned and trained that, we're to be quiet, we're to be submissive, we're to be nurturing. We'll know that we're valuable when we're chosen. That's how we're raised. When a man picks you, girl, you done did something now. We're not taught that we're valuable just because we exist. We're not taught that we're valuable because we're here. It's just who we are, right? And that's true about whether you're in a female body or a male body. There's no outside element that can make you valuable. Your worth is already there because you exist, right? That's wrong. As men should always respect our women. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I'm talking about the unhealthy patriarchal mess that we're seeing portrayed through the current administration. It's being exposed. It's always been there, but it's being exposed on a greater scale. So again, right, you start strong, but when it's time to finish, you know me, I got to look at my notes, because if I don't, I will be like, what was I talking about? So if you see me looking down, that's my notes, because I'm trying to get better with staying on focus, especially if I get a download to say something and I'll be like, yeah. So you start strong, but when it's time to finish, you completely freeze, right? What's up, Rhonda Mac? What's up? Welcome in. Come on in. Have a seat. And then, no, it's not you. That's all me. There's no need to apologize. I like having the live conversations and answering based on what somebody said and then coming back. The notes is so I know what to come back to. It ain't got nothing to do with veering off, because I like to flow as a conversation goes, if you get what I'm saying. But so again, every time you stop, right, you feel like you betrayed yourself again. And you don't like, why did I do this again? Then you get frustrated with yourself. You're angry with yourself. You're not giving yourself the love and compassion, right? You would give it to other people. You'll give understanding, love, and compassion to other people, but you won't do that for yourself. We're always so much more critical about ourselves than we are of other people. We'll tell people, we'll see the greatness in them. We'll celebrate them. We'll try to encourage them, motivate them. We'll do everything we can to get them to believe in themselves. But then when we put the mirror on ourselves, all we see is our flaws, our mistakes, how wrong we are, the failures. And we get very critical of the fact, I should be further along in life. Look at what I did. If I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't be going through this. And we don't understand that we're here to have a human experience. We're here to learn. We're here to grow, right? And so we develop these patterns of self-sabotage. But it's not just from our adults, from when we're adults. It's from our childhood. So you're even scared. Let me see. Let me shut that off. You can even be scared to celebrate small wins, right? Like you're waiting for someone to snatch it away. You ever felt like you were just waiting for the rug to get pulled from underneath you? Like, okay, I don't want to get too happy because something's going to happen. Something might take this away. What's up, Doreen? Welcome in. How you doing today? If you know what I'm talking about, you ever felt that, let me know in the comments. You get a small win, but you don't even want to celebrate it because you're waiting for the rug to get pulled from underneath you. You're waiting for everything to be snatched away. Because the last time you got happy and you got excited, everything just blew up in your face. Like it didn't end up being the way that you thought it was going to be. Or if it's just me, then it's just me. But if you've ever experienced that, let me know. Even if it wasn't recently, even if like you've ever felt that in your lifetime, let me know in the comments. And if nobody says anything, I'm going to just assume I'm the only one that ever felt that way. And if that's the case, that's the case. It's okay. There's no worries. All right, I guess it's just me. Well, here's the thing. The truth about that is you were raised to feel like you needed permission. You were raised to feel like you needed permission to win. You were raised to feel like if you don't have the blessings of the other people, like your parents, your teachers, the pastor, whoever, you needed permission to win. You needed permission. Right? You needed permission for everything. You needed permission to shine. You need permission to speak. You needed permission to even exist. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about that, right? And you think about you quit. I want you to stop thinking that you quit because you're lazy. It's not that you quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere down the line, deep inside, you were taught you were not allowed to win. And when we believe we need permission to shine, we need permission to speak, we need permission to even exist. What's up, Wildflower? Hello, how are you doing? As you grow older, all of that wires you to shrink, to play small, to not be seen. Because if you were a kid and you were told, kids are to be seen, not heard, right? Kids flow naturally in their gift. They flow naturally in their imagination. They flow naturally in their magic, their power, however you want to classify it. They are naturally and authentically themselves, right? It's the adults in their lives, and this is not about being angry at your parents. This ain't about being mad at your teachers. No, I'm trying to get you to understand the root of where it comes, why that stop cycle isn't laziness. So you can start looking at it at a higher perspective. So you can stop beating yourself up. Because you have to become aware of the cycle, right? Not to beat yourself up, but so that you can heal it. You can get to the root of it. What's up, Persh? How you doing? Morning, afternoon. What's up, Cassie? How are you doing, boo? Hi there. And you coming in. I'm just getting started. How you doing? It's so good to see you. So good to see you. So today, since we got a few more people coming in, today we're talking about how you don't quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere deep inside you were taught you're not allowed to win. Okay? And so you can start strong, and when it's time to finish, you freeze. And if you've been in here, it is, what time is it? It is 1:48 p.m. in the afternoon. 1:48 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm not sure where you are. Yep. Oh, yep. She said, okay, you're already on it. Yes, I'm on it, boo. And then, East Coast. Yep, absolutely. Where are you at? And every time you stop, you feel like you betrayed yourself. You're in Oregon. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Well, dang. It's only 10 now? 11, 12, 1. Okay, that makes sense. So what is it like? Is that 3 out? Wait, no. 10:49. Okay, I thought you meant like 10 a.m. on the dot. I was like, what is that? So, oh, wow. Central time. Yeah, West Coast. And then Wildflower's in Central time. So Wildflower's an hour behind me. Okay. That's what's up. Oh, just an hour. Just an hour. Because I was like, wait, how is it? What time zone is that? It's all good. It's all good. But then again, right? So back to what we were talking about. Every time you stop, you feel like you betrayed yourself again, right? And so you beat yourself up. You get frustrated with yourself because I done started something else, and this time I said it was gonna be different. This time I said I wasn't gonna quit on myself. But oh, you're in Central but work for Pacific. Got you. What's up, Michelle? Welcome in. And you just keep telling yourself, this time I'm going to finish it. And if you were here on Wednesday, I know Lamar was. I was talking about how that would be me. I would be like, this time I'm gonna do it. I would go out, I would go to the store, I would buy me a happy planner. Those big pretty ones where you get the stickers and you can get all the stuff to put it in and make it pretty. And I map out my whole schedule, and I'm gonna do this, and I'll be good for maybe a week, 2 weeks tops. After that, mm-mm. I ain't touched that planner again. The first 2 weeks was filled out, and I started good, but I would stop. Right? Every single time. And I'm playing this is like a good $30 before the stickers, right? Our subconscious doesn't understand jokes and believes everything we tell ourselves or say, right? And it's like in our subconscious, I'm learning, doesn't have the same logic that we have. Well, not so much our subconscious. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I'm thinking about the nervous system. The nervous system doesn't use the same logic that we have, but let me bring myself back, right? And so you're scared to celebrate small wins, right? Because you're waiting for someone to snatch it away. You're used to having the rug pulled from underneath your feet. So you don't even celebrate small wins, right? And then you're aware that you have this start stop cycle, right? But instead of you using it as, wow, okay, I'm aware of it now, and celebrating yourself for the fact that you are aware that there's a pattern so that you can love yourself, to look deep within to see where did this come from, you beat yourself up. You call yourself lazy. You call yourself unmotivated. You call yourself, maybe I'm not cut out for success. You know what? I really don't. I get it, the whole fake it till you make it, and I get the heart of it, but I don't like saying that anymore. I used to, but I don't say it anymore. And here's why. Here's why I don't like the fake it till you make it. For me personally, this is no shade towards you, because I used to say it all the time. But for me to say fake it till you make it means I don't really believe. This is just my perspective, that I don't really believe that I can make it. Like, I gotta be a fake person for me to make it. Like, I can't just build that trust in myself to understand that I'm worth, right? Oh, so okay, and then our subconscious. Okay, so that's what you're saying. You agree with me. You said fake it till you make it. That's an example you're giving. Okay, and then our subconscious makes us be lazy. Okay, I get what you're saying, because yeah, I agree. I used to say it all the time, right? What's up, Becca? Thank you for liking the live. But here's the thing: we wear masks all the time. Well, I don't wear them anymore. But when we tend to wear masks, right? I used to. You wear the mask at work. You wear a mask at home with your family. You wear a mask when you go visit family that you haven't seen in a while. You wear a mask at church. You wear a mask in the store. You wearing all these different personalities based on how you think other people need you to be, for you to be accepted, for you to be loved, for you to be approved of. Thank you, Self-Made. Welcome in. Thank you for my daily heart. You put all these masks on, and wearing all these masks, you lose yourself. You don't know who you are because you're trying to make everybody else happy and everybody else accept you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the Go Popular. You're making, you want everybody to like you and everybody to accept you and everybody to welcome you. Everybody's not going to like you. Everything authentic comes from within. That has been my experience. Yes, everything. And we have to get to understand that everything about us. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. Everything about us is already beautiful, right? You're already worthy. You're already loved. You're already enough. You have to be willing to do the inner work to peel back the layers of conditioning and teaching and the limiting beliefs and all the things that have taught you otherwise. Everything that it tells you, I don't deserve success, right? This is not for me. If it wasn't for you, why you have the desire? When you see something that you desire, right? And you go after it and you light up like, oh, and you can see yourself in the end. You see yourself like, I can see, for me, it was a lot of times it was network marketing, right? I see the vision like, yo, you mean to tell me I can have a wholesale retail business and I can make all this money helping people by selling products, buying it at wholesale, selling at retail. And I used to do a lot of health and wellness stuff, right? And I was like, you mean to tell me I can help people? I could build a team and we can all build financial wealth together? And I would see people walking across the stage getting like big checks. And I could see myself in that. So I never had a problem starting. I see something, I believe it. Yeah, I want that. I jump in. Starting was never my issue. Finishing was my problem. Because once I came up against myself, I stopped. I froze. I self-sabotage, right? And then I would be like, well, maybe the timing is wrong, or maybe I missed what God was saying to me, or maybe it's just not meant out for me to success. Anybody else ever felt that way? It doesn't have to be network marketing. I'm talking about anything. I was just sharing that because that was the main thing that I kept cycling. I can't tell you how many times I started and stopped network marketing because I've always believed in the business model. Always believed in it. But when it comes, what's up, Test Talks? But when it comes to believing in myself to get the expected end, I would quit. I would quit every single time because deep down, I didn't think I had permission to win. I didn't think I was allowed to win. I didn't think I was deserving to win. Is it just me? Let me know. Anybody else ever felt that way? You see something, you go for it without a problem. But as soon as it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, and as soon as it's not as easy, here's one of the things, exactly, self-sabotage is real. Yes, for me, and especially with the dogma that I had from religion, from Christianity in my mind. What's up, Alyssa? I had this in my mind that if God really wanted me to do it, it would be smooth. It'd be like there'd be no issues. It'd be smooth. I wouldn't have any challenges. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Self-Made. And anybody else felt that way? Because I know I blame God for a whole lot of stuff. I never took accountability. Yep. I never took any accountability. It was always, well, it didn't work out because I guess God said no. Like I thought I heard God right. I thought I understood what God wanted me to do. But the truth was, I didn't believe in myself. So when you see something, you have a goal, you have a dream, you have a vision, you grab a hold of something and you want it, and you can connect with it, and you have a desire for that thing. Guess what that means? If it lights you up and you be like, yo, yes, that means you already have everything within you to achieve it. Yes, I was spiritually bypassed so hard. I guess that wasn't for me, but I'm letting fear stop me. Yes, 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 yes. And we don't realize we're doing it because again, right? The truth is we were raised to feel like we needed permission, that we needed permission to shine. We needed permission to speak. We needed permission to even exist. Think back to your childhood. How many times, especially, and again, right, I was going to say, especially again, no shade to the man, but I can only share from a female perspective because I'm in a female body and the things that needing position to exist. Yes. Being a woman, right. Especially being in a female, it's like you're taught with, little girls to be seen, not heard, right? Permission, right. Oh, okay. Oh, needed position to exist. Okay, I was like, position. For some reason, I read it the way that you wrote it. And it kind of still resonated with me because I saw his position I don't know. I can't even describe it, but it hit me. It resonated in my spirit in the same way. Oh, you're welcome, boo. You're welcome. It's still kind of, oh, thank you, boo. I love you for still flowing me. I love you right back, beautiful. And it's like you're told, as women in particular, little girls, we're raised to want to be picked. We're raised to, oh, girl, you know, when a man picks you, when a man wants you, you don't hit the prize, right? So we don't see ourselves as valuable within ourselves. We have to be picked. We have to be chosen to have value, right? We don't want to be the woman that's not picked, because then, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, you ain't married? What's wrong with you? You know, especially as you get older, right? Exactly. The wanting to be picked is something else, right? So all those different things contribute. My daughter takes space and doesn't care about being picked. I know that's right. And the whole time we gotta do all the time we gotta do is choosing of ourselves. Exactly. Exactly. And I love that your daughter doesn't care about being picked. That is amazing. These new generation of kids, people, a lot of I'm a Gen X, and a lot of Gen X and boomers, these young kids ain't got no respect. I was like, you reading their energy wrong. It's not that these kids don't have respect. These kids are not going, they refuse to be conditioned the way that we were. They see, even if they don't have the vocabulary and they can't express it clearly, they can see through the BS, and they are not going to be, they're not going to allow themselves to be pulled into these systems that aren't healthy. Thank you so much. Gypsy, what's up? Like, I was like, who's that? I just saw the Daily Hermit, but I didn't see who it was. They're not going to allow themselves to be programmed and conditioned like we were. They're just not. They have a strongest they have a strongest sense of worth. That's why even the younger ones who have jobs, they'll go to a job, working one day, be like, this ain't for me, and they quit. But us, the older generation, will go and stay a year, 2, 3, 4, 10 years miserable, complaining about the same job. Because we've been conditioned, you have to go to school. You gotta, then after you go to school, you get your education, you get your degree, you get a good job, and you work a job, and you work that job, and then you build up your retirement, and then you retire. If you look at the state of the world and you look at how people even older than us, that ain't working. That stopped working a long time ago. And they can see through it. That's why, like, you know, they're talking about, like, oh, what are we going to do about churches? The young kids ain't coming back. We got to find a way to compel. We got to find a way to compel them and to attract them. You can't. You don't carry the frequency. They're on a higher frequency. Even if they don't have the vocabulary and they can't express it to you, they can feel the control. They can feel the manipulation. They can feel you're trying to suppress them, and they understand their worth much more better than we did when we were their age. We're learning it now in our adult age, right? But they're coming out the womb knowing that they knowing, like, oh Lord, I came here to help fix y'all, because y'all done what y'all doing down here, right? That's why they're so afraid. That's why they're so afraid. What do you mean by they're afraid? I feel like they're fearless. A lot of them are fearless, but they're also misunderstood. And that's what we have to, as the older generation, we have to support them, right? And we know how to allow them to be. Exactly. We have to allow them to be. We're human beings, not human doings. Our generation, we learned how to do. We learned how to perform. And now we're learning how to be, how to exist, how to tap into your true essence. And we are so much better than our parents. Yes, they being older gens. Okay, got you. Okay, that they're afraid of being older gens. Those who seek control are at their own core afraid. Exactly. They're very afraid. That's even when you look at what's going on with the current administration. You think that, and I'm not saying you like y'all, but you, like, meaning people out there, think that that's strength, think that that's power. That is the deepest level of insecurity and fear I have ever seen being exposed. But if you don't have your own awareness and you don't understand things spiritually, you don't understand that that's what's being projected. It's not strength, it's not control. If you have to rule with an iron fist and try to come against everybody that doesn't think like you, that doesn't agree with you, you are nothing but a little insecure little rugrat running around trying to terrorize everybody, right? And it's like we have to do our inner work, right? And that's why, like, I know the people who are attracted to me are people who do. Thank you so much, Cassie. I appreciate you. The people who are attracted to me, they do their damn inner work, right? They're not running from it. They're not like, oh, God is going to fix everything. And God, no, baby, I'm here to tell you. And if you're in here, please, this is no offense. I honor everybody's journey because everybody walks in their journey and their path is sacred. And everybody wakes up in different ways, in different timelines, in different lifetimes. So I get it, right? Right. Full circle back to accountability. If you are waiting for God to rescue you, I want you to understand you're your own rescue. And I don't mean that from a selfish thing, right? Do I believe in God? Yes, I believe God, creator, source, however you want to classify it, right? But I also understand that I am the separation that we're taught and conditioned to believe in, that God is this man in the sky looking down upon us. No, boo. We come from God. We come from creator. We come from source. And what you come from is what you are. So don't you know that ye are little gods in this realm? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I appreciate you. At 16 left at my abusive stepfather while he was pushing me to a wall screaming, wow, because I realized he was shorter than me. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know he was pissed. He said, amen. No one is coming to save you. He equips you to be and do right. There's nothing that is missing or lacking on the inside of you. Absolutely nothing. What we have to do is remove the layers that we've been taught and conditioned to shrink us down. This energy down here is so dense. When we come into this realm, it's like when you're kids, when you're a baby and an infant, you're still connected to where you came from. That's why when you see babies in their cribs or their bassinets and they're laughing and playing and they don't have one of those, the mobile units above them, but they just laughing and playing and you can see they're making eye contact with somebody and you don't know who. And you can tell it's like somebody's tickling them, or even when they're a toddler and they're having a conversation and then they be like, wait a minute, who are they talking to? And you think it's their imaginary friend. And the next thing you know, they say your mom's name who transitioned 10 years ago. And be like, oh, I was talking to so-and-so. You'd be like, who? And then there's so many stories you hear when you go through a photo album, and then the kid be like, "That's who comes and see me," and it was your mom, or was your grandfather, your grandmother that they never met, right? If I don't, he said he shut up and said, "If I don't even know who you are anymore, wow, I was always so afraid of him. Me and my daughter share dreams." Oh, I love that. I love that. But okay, so we're gonna get back. This is why I said I have to have my notes, because you see, like I said, I will go however I feel the spirit is guiding the conversation, but we're gonna come back. So if you're just coming in, what's up, guys? My name is Lisso, and today we are talking about you don't quit because you're lazy. You quit because somewhere deep inside you were taught you're not allowed to win. Okay. So if you start strong, but when it's time to finish, you freeze, right? Just keep staying with me, right? Every time you stop, you feel like you betrayed yourself yet again, all right? You haven't betrayed yourself. I'm going to break it down some more. You're scared to even celebrate small wins, like you're waiting for the rug to get pulled from underneath you, because it doesn't normally work. Things don't work out for you. You've conditioned yourself to believe it's not going to work, right? So even when you do get a small win, you're scared to celebrate it and believe that it's not going to get taken from you. Why did they keep that? Oh, that's what I said, for 10 minutes. So, and again, the truth is, you were raised to feel like you needed permission to shine, permission to speak, permission to even exist. Cassie said me. Yeah. That's all me. Everything that I'm sharing with you, this is all stuff that I have walked through, right? And I want to tell you that this self-sabotage isn't failure, okay? It's programming from patriarchal conditioning. Again, no shade to any men that might be in here. Because when you look at us, right, you have in spirit, you have divine feminine and divine masculine, right? And literally, I was taking a shower before I came on live. Be happy about everything. It seriously helps. Yes, true indeed. I was taking a shower before I came on live, and what came to mind is that the two shall become one, right? And in context, every time I heard that scripture, it was always about marriage, you know, a man and a woman coming together to become one, right? Or even the act of intimacy, right? Whatever. It was always from the 3D perspective. But when you understand that regardless if you're in the body of a woman or if you're in the body of a man, we all have divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And when you look at the system that is put in place, the patriarchal has completely tried to destroy the divine feminine. I can't even tell you how long ago they did it. But even when you look at how women are told women can't be leaders in the church, right? Even when you look at the stories of like Mary Magdalene and how they made her out to be, you know, I'm going to say streetwalker because I don't know if it's going to trigger anything with this. When you start doing deeper research, you find out and you realize that actually was not in fact true, that she was actually walking alongside Yeshua and teaching as well. So she was like what we would say in today's times, a mutual, right? And so when you have this mutual person, what's up, Carolyn? Thank you for coming in. When you have this mutual relationship, but the powers that be did not want people to see women in charge. So they changed the narrative. They took things out and they said, okay, the Council of Nicaea? These are the books that we're going to say is valid. And these aren't. So they pulled out different stories. Why? When you look at all the stories, or I shouldn't say all because I didn't read all of them, but all the ones that I've connected to, it's an attack against the divine feminine. And it's the same thing here in this realm, right? Women, like even now, look at what we're going through. They want to take away all of our rights to vote, our rights to, to make a choice for our body. They want to take everything, right? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. With this administration. So they're coming after the divine feminine because they know this is the time for the divine feminine to rise. But here's the thing. It's not about just women being in control, right? This is about us coming into a place of unity. What's up, opulent? Hey, beautiful. This is about us coming to a place of unity. Unity. Okay? And I'm still talking about self-sabotage, right? Because this is when I said self-sabotage isn't failure, it's programming from the patriarchal conditioning. As women, thank you, beautiful, we have been taught we are not enough, that we have to be picked. Think about how many times, or women that you might know, and even if it's you, it's okay. Again, this is not to shame anyone. This is just to bring a level of awareness of how, particularly as women, we have been conditioned to believe that we are less than a man, that we need a man to give us permission. Like, if we want to start a business and we're married, I have to ask my husband if it's okay. Now, I'm not coming against whatever you got in your household. I'm trying to get you to understand the conditioning of the permission. I understand finances in the home is something that you should communicate with together. You should come together and be like, hey, I want to do this, but it should be on both sides, not just one. Typically, you hear the woman has to submit, right? The woman has to be the one to seek permission, to submit to the man. Like, the woman is less than. If she doesn't have a covering over her, then she's bound to be deceived, right? And then it goes back to the garden the garden with Adam and Eve, and how Eve was deceived. But they don't tell you, and they neglect to mention that Adam was standing right there during the whole supposed conversation, and he just let everything happen. So he's supposed to cover and protect her. So if she was being deceived, why didn't he play that role from the very beginning and protect her? But he was right there, observing, watching, hearing, and took the fruit and ate from Eve. And now, oh, that's what we're told, right? So now women is to blame for everything. So women can't be trusted. Women can't teach. Women can't preach. Women can't this. Women can't that. This is what I'm talking about. When you are a woman specifically, I'm not saying men don't have these issues, but my heart, my passion is to help women get back into the divine feminine, right? Not neglect the divine masculine, because most of us, we have been in our divine masculine most of our lives, because we've been conditioned to do, go. And we're in this, we got to take care of the home. We got to take care of the family. We got to take care of everything else. We got to go to work. We got to do all of this. We don't even have time for ourselves. We don't even know who we are. And you can put all your years into believing into the vision of a man, and you can make him prosper, you can make him succeed, and he will still walk away and leave you. And I didn't have that experience. I'm single. I was engaged before, but I never got married. I'm talking about the different stories that you hear, how the man will trade you in for a younger version. Again, this is not an attack against men. I'm speaking specifically to my sisters, because I need you to understand that is a conditioning to get you to believe that you need permission to shine. You need permission to speak. You even need permission to exist. But that's not the truth. The truth is, life comes from you. The truth is, without a woman, there would be no being walking the face of this earth, no human being, because every human being comes through the portal of a woman, right? So it's not a shade against the men, because the divine masculine is necessary, but so is the divine feminine. And this is where we have to get to a place of unity within. You was going to say portal? Yeah. We have to get to a place. It's not about, oh, we have this unhealthy patriarchal system, which we do, but it's not about turning against men. We have to unify within ourselves. We have to make peace with the divine feminine and divine masculine within ourselves. The two shall become one, right? If you think about spirit, you think about God, you think about creator. It ain't 50% spirit. 50% masculine and 50% feminine. It's all masculine, all feminine, working together, right? The wisdom, the love, the guidance, all of that working together. So we have to have that within ourselves. You know how they say, be the change you want to see in the world? You can't be the change you want to see in the world until you unify within. When you have peace with the masculine and the feminine within, you're unstoppable. Right. It is men's turn to though to grow. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's not. It is. And Ashe, thank you, Quantum. It's definitely their time to grow. But that doesn't mean we don't stop growing. And it doesn't mean that we turn and we start hating on men. No. But as you see, more and more women are like, yo, I'm good by myself, boo. I'm good single. Because we are seeing a lot of these men are not doing the inner work. Right? I'm seeing the younger generation. I'm starting to see them. A lot of them are doing the work. But The older generation, he said, I don't hate on anyone who's nasty. But see, that nasty attitude, that's just showing you that there's a fear, there's an insecurity. That's a mask. That's a mask. Anytime somebody got to try to tear somebody else down to make themselves feel better, they ain't nothing but a bully. And if they're a bully, that means that they're insecure. And if they're insecure, that means they're afraid. So there's always a reason why people do the things that they do. Okay, so now back to what we were talking about, right? Self-sabotage. Yeah, a lot of men in your generation are very in tune with self. Yeah, and what generation? Yeah, you must be like, are you Gen Z? Because I feel like I'm Gen X. I feel like the younger generation of men are way more in tune with self than the older generation. The older generation is still caught up in their ways, and when they be coming at me, and they be coming at me and trying to holler, I'll be like, yeah, no. I'm good, thank you, but I am in a season of taking care of me and only focusing on me. I have no desire for any relationship with a man right now. I have my whole thing with myself right now is being focused on me and my purpose and continuing to do what's on the inside of me. And I don't need, I think he's probably, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, the younger generation, they are much more in tune because, y'all know I'll do Uber. And when I speak to these young men that, like, they're in their 20s and stuff, baby, they got it. See? Yep, I'll be 25. They got it. They're on point. Right? They're doing the inner work. They're meditating. They're doing their shadow work. They're connected. They're doing all the things that they need to do in whatever their journey is calling them to do. They are doing it. I'm talking about our generation and older. The jokers that are in charge, they not doing their inner work. And if you ever needed any more proof, the current administration shows you that. They are not doing their work. They are still trying to say that men are here and women are here. And they don't understand that it's the unity. They are rejecting their own divine feminine energy that's within them. They're rejecting that own part of themselves. So of course they're going to reject us. They're trying to whip us back into submission. But what they're really doing, their attack against us is attack against their own divine feminine, their own intuition, the wisdom, the unity, the love, the Christ consciousness. They're fighting with that, but they're taking it out on us. Okay, so yeah, but my uncle's 45 in this whole circle of highly spiritual. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm not saying all men. When I say this, I'm not saying every single man. I'm speaking in general, right? Basically, you look at the current administration we're under, they are not doing the inner work. They are, and people can be very, I don't think they're stupid. I think they're very aware of what they're doing, and they're doing it intentionally to cause chaos and confusion and fear. Because if they can get the collective to be in chaos, confusion, and fear, just say fear, they know that we won't tap into our intuition, that we won't get our own higher guidance, that we won't be in tune because we'll be too busy in fear, in survival mode. You cannot be in survival mode and hear clearly from spirit. Right. And wisdom, strength, and beauty are the attributes of God. Yeah, absolutely, quantum. And I'm aware that generation isn't building. There's my grandfather's 53, 54, and he's lost in the bucket. See? And I just turned 56 on the 15th, right? That's why I'm saying my generation, nope. It seems like in the base chakra is only the most basic life things. Exactly. Emotional people are easily controlled. Exactly. So if they can get us in fear, they can get to control us. It seems like they know but can't release because of how they were raised. What's up, Raquel? How you doing, boo? It's good to see you. Yeah, I Listen, and that's why we're having this conversation right now, right? I think a huge problem with men I see is they focus on themselves, women focus too much on others. Right, right. Yes, right. And that's why I said we have to get to a place of unity within ourselves. We have to make peace with the divine masculine within ourselves and the divine feminine. Whether you are in a female body or a male body, we have both, right? Most of it is because they built a life around fallacy. Yes, agreed. And here's the thing, right? When a woman grows up, right, she's told her worth depends on being chosen, being quiet, or being useful to somebody else. Her inner child, right, learns to shrink before she even gets seen. Okay? Women, that's what we're taught. Your worth, it depends on being chosen. How many little girls want to play house and want to be the mom and the wife, and they want to have the husband? When you look at women, right? Women want to have this big hoo-ha wedding, right? They're not really thinking about the marriage. They're thinking about the ceremony of the wedding because it means they were picked. They were chosen. Now that I'm chosen, I'm worthy. Baby, you've been worthy from the time you was conceived. You was worthy before you was even a thought. You was worthy from the moment that you were in your mother's womb. When you came from the realm of the spirit, you was already worthy. Your worth is not based on man. Your worth is based on your connection to God, your connection to spirit, your connection to source. Whatever you classify your higher power, your worth is from the fact that you and God are already one. All men's spiritual books teach individuality. Women's philosophy books on connection to all. Yeah, and it's like I think we need to bring it together, right? Because at the end of the day, when you're in a child, when you're a little girl and you're told, how you have to be picked, or you have to be quiet, or you have to be useful, you're trained and conditioned to believe that that's what your worth is tied to. You don't have the comprehension of understanding that you're worthy because you're here. You're worthy because you exist. You're valuable because you are already here. It's like it's not tied to the actions that you take. It's not tied to whether or not somebody picks you. It's not tied to you saying what's on your mind and people not liking it. That's not what your worth lies in. Your worth lies in the fact that you exist. At the core of your being, the core of your essence, you are worthy. Right? So then as we grow older, you start something and then you stop. Because finishing would mean you're actually finally standing in your power. But how do you stand in your power when you've never been taught that you are powerful? If you think that powerful is a lot of times, especially if like you're raised in the church and you start tapping into your gifts, everything's demonic. Everything you're taught, everything is demonic. Oh, that's demonic. Oh, don't do that. That's demonic. Oh, no, don't do that. That's demonic. You're taught to fear your own essence, the spirit of God within. Right? Conditional acceptance. Right. Conditional acceptance. Exactly. Light connects to the world. I know some women have already the groundwork. Yes. Conditional acceptance. You believe that as a little kid. What do you think is going to happen as you continue to grow up? And because you have that mindset about yourself as a little kid and you're growing up, and we create our own realities because the spirit of the living God dwells within us, right? So we are little creators walking around here, creating our reality, creating all the things. We don't understand that we have the power to shift timelines, collapse timelines. We have the authority that's in us to create the world that we desire. We don't understand that our energy, our frequency, all of that plays a role. And we say, well, if God wanted to bless me, God would bless me. And we get we beg and we plead. We learn to pray from a position of weakness. We don't understand that when God said, let there be, and there was, Life and death is in the power of the tongue. We don't understand the power that's already on the inside of us. But what we'll do, we create all the time. We manifest all the time. But because we keep manifesting more and more what we don't want, because we don't understand the little girl, the little boy on the inside of us has no idea of how powerful she is. He has no idea how powerful he is. Thank you for coming back, Cassie. I want you to know you're not weak. You're not broken. You are powerful. And your inner child is just waiting for you to hand her back the permission slip. I want y'all to do this real quick. I want y'all to do this. I want you, if it's safe, only if it's safe. If you driving, don't do this. But I was gonna say, close your eyes for a minute. If you can do this, go ahead. If you can't do it, let me know in the comments. Let me know, like, just say me or something so I know if I should even do this or not. If you're in a safe place, and if I don't, it's safe, okay. Okay. All right. So Cassie says it's safe. If there's anybody else, as long as I got one, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Safe? Okay, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to take another deep belly breath in for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. And then exhale for a count of 6. And I'll do it. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allow your body to fully relax. I want you to see your little girl, little boy within. I want you to see your inner child within. And as you see her sitting across from you. See her smiling at you. Let her know you love her. Now I want you to see yourself embracing her and hugging her. If you feel any emotions bubble up, allow them to bubble up. It's okay. Let her know you see her, you love her, and you're listening. Now I want you to release the embrace. And in one of your hands, I want you to see you holding a permission slip in your hands. See her eyes light up with gleam, like she's excited because she knows that that's a permission slip. And then I want you to hand it to her, smiling. And as she takes it, you see her light up with joy because she knows she is now safe to be who she is in you. And I want you to hug her again. But this time when you hug her, see her melt into you, merge back into you. Feel the love. Feel the joy. Feel the release. Take another deep belly breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And slowly open your eyes. And let me know, how did that feel, beautiful souls? How did that feel? Let me know in the comments. Rocking your hips side to side helps relax your nervous system too when laying down. Oh, that's good to know. That makes sense. That makes sense because I did some, I was laying down on my back on the floor a couple of weeks ago. My left leg was trembling, but I knew it was energy. My nervous system was being regulated, and I just started bawling. Cassie, self-made, want to share anything? You don't have to go into any details, but did you feel peaceful? Did you see your little girl? Did you feel a smile? Did you feel the love? Let me know something. You felt sad? Oh, don't want you to. So simple truths would destroy the entire paradigm. Yep. So simply truths would destroy the entire paradigm. Yep. You feel sad? Oh, they don't want you to be sad. But you know what? Sad is, there's nothing wrong with being sad. That, like, if you allow yourself to cry, that's release, that's healing. You know, I like to say feeling is healing. So if your experience was sad, that's still a good thing because you connected. You connected to her sadness, mixed emotions. Okay. Mixed emotions. See, feeling is healing. I heard it was protection for those who don't understand. Yeah. Oh, that's what you heard during meeting. It was protection from those who don't understand. Yeah. Wow. You can choose to sit with your little girl every single day, even if it's just for a few moments. You know, you could do it once a day, twice a day, however many times you are guided. You know, she's in you, right? She ain't never left you. She's just waiting for you to acknowledge her, right? That conditioning did a number on all of us. But we came here for the experience, right? We came here for the experience. I want you to know that this right here, tapping back into your inner child, that's the rebellion, right? You're no longer needing a man, a parent, or a system to validate what's already yours. You don't need permission. Whatever goals, whatever dreams, whatever desires you have, it's already on the inside of you. Your success is already on the inside of you. You don't need permission from anybody. The only permission you need is the permission of yourself to allow yourself to prosper, to allow yourself to have the things that you truly desire. Yes, I stayed small, quiet because she didn't have the support protection to expand. Yeah. But now she does, because now you're strong enough to protect her, right? Now you're strong enough to stand in your truth, to stand in the truth of who you are. So the little girl that's on the inside of you, the little girl that's on the inside of me, our inner child is still there. She ain't never left. She ain't go nowhere. She got buried beneath the patriarchal conditioning, the religious conditioning, the parental conditioning. And because of all these things that she believed, I'm not worthy, I have to shrink, I have to stay small, she shrunk down. And that's why now in your adult life, you have these cycles over and over again. You start something, you stop. You self-sabotage because deep down, you don't believe that you're worthy. Deep down, you don't believe that you deserve it. But the reason why I wanted you to understand the root of it It's not that you don't deserve it. It's not that you're not worthy. It's that what you were taught. Again, little girls are taught that our worth depends on being chosen, right? Like if you don't get married by a certain age, people tend to think, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Why are you not married? You crazy? You one of the crazy ones?" What? So if you're single, there's something wrong with you, right? But that's how society makes it out to be. You're When you're chosen, now you're worthy, right? If you're quiet, you're worthy. They don't want to hear from the women, right? That's why they say women can't teach, women can't preach, women can't be leaders. Are you serious right now? But you can be useful to everybody else but yourself. We've been taught that from little girls. We've been taught that since we was young. And now we have to tap back into the truth that you were always worthy. They just couldn't handle your light. They couldn't handle the power that was coming from you, the magic. Children should be seen and not. Yeah, exactly. And I was saying that earlier. Children are to be seen and not heard. Oh, wait, I gotta do puzzle piece. Children are to be seen and not heard. And that's why I said I'm not saying that men don't go through the things too, because they do. But from a woman perspective, I can go deeper because I've had the woman experience. I'm 56. I'm single. I was engaged like years ago, and I called it off because I was like, yeah, nah. I knew I was settling, and I called it off. I was like, yeah, no, nope. I knew I was like, there, no. I could see how my life was going to go if I continued down the path I was on, and I was like, And this is before I even had any comprehension or understanding about intuition, that I was one with God, but I had enough sense to be like, I said yes to the proposal. But when I saw the pattern, I was like, if he's doing this now, he ain't gonna stop when we get married. It's just gonna be worse. And then I'm gonna be locked in because now I'm married. And truth be told, I was miserable. But I didn't think that I could provide for myself enough. I thought I needed him. And here's the kicker. I was paying 95% of the bills. And I was scared to be out on my own because I didn't know if I could afford to do everything by myself. But I was paying for 95%. I had to ask him for money for rent. I had to ask him for money for the light bill, for the water bill, for groceries. If I didn't ask, I didn't receive. Oh, wow. Your name is derived from Cassandra. She was a prophet who told them not to take the Trojan horse. Oh, wow. That's what's up. That's what's up. But listen, guys, I want you to remember this, that self-sabotage isn't failure, okay? It's programming from the patriarchal conditioning. It seems like I'm always seeing things but not believed. What do you mean? Seems like you're always seeing things, but you mean like other people don't believe you? Is that what you're saying? Like you see things, but other people don't believe you? Is that what you mean, Cassie? Okay. Well, if they don't believe you, then that just means that they're not in that space. That's okay, right? Because you're being shown the things, and if they don't believe you, no, yeah, you said, and I'm right about it, yeah. And if they don't believe you, that's okay. Because when what you say happens, then they'd be like, oh dang, she was right. That's just like any relationship that I was in, especially with my ex-fiance. I would tell him, I said, those ain't your friends. They jealous of you. I'd be like, oh, that's my boys. What you talking about them? I'm telling you, those men right there that you say your boys, you better watch your back with them. Nah. You bugging. And I was like, okay. And you know what happened? What ended up happening was one day He did his regular stunt of not coming home the night, right? He came home like as the sun was coming up. He had the red stuff that comes out the body. I don't want to say it because I don't know if that'll be a trigger. The red stuff that comes out the body on his shirt, which was torn. No shoes on his feet. What the hell? Those boys that were his friends set him up. Set him up and had him jumped and robbed. And he came back home to get a pow pow to go back out. And I said, no. And I had to talk him down. I was like, they took money. You know, they took your shoes. They took your jewelry. You still got life. You go out there and you do this, you might not make it back. That might be the end for you. Either you ain't here no more, or not, or you spending the rest of your life behind bars. Leave them alone. Let them stew, wondering and hoping. And he left it alone. I ended up talking him down and calming him down. But it's just like we have such strong intuition. And that's the thing about unifying, right? Bringing us back to the place. The rebellion that this is, it's not a rebellion against men. It's a rebellion against the patriarchal system, right? But the rebellion is a return to your innocence. The innocence that they told you was stolen, it's not stolen. It's buried inwardly. It's buried beneath all the conditioning that told you that you weren't worthy, that told you wasn't enough. That's what is buried beneath. And we have to connect back with our inner child, right? And when we connect back with our inner child and we listen to our intuition, you find that you start bringing peace back to the divine feminine and divine masculine within. And when you do that, the two become one. Now you start walking in your power. You start walking in your authenticity. You start walking in your truth, right? And because now your vibration has changed, you start regulating your nervous system. Your mindset is different. Everything about you is different. Guess what? Inside out. Inside out. Don't you know ye are gods? So the inside out means now that your vibration, your frequency is different, the things around you start changing. You start changing the environment around you because don't you know that you are a creator? Don't you understand that you create your own reality? You know how long it took me to understand this? Everything that I'm talking to y'all about today is the exact things that I have walked through for years. I have walked through this for years. Y'all know, I've talked about it before. I do energy healings. I teach and I certify others. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm an Akado master initiate. I do spiritual life coaching. You know how many times I have had to sit there with people and I'm giving them Reiki, especially women. I have men that come to me too, but I would say 97% of my clients are women. That's why a majority of the time I talk to women, right? And they get on the table if it's in-person session or if it's a distant session, and I see the little girl on the inside of them in tears or feels like she's bound because what's up, Olivia? Because the person, the adult, is still suppressing her. And that little girl just wants revived. She wants to be revived. She wants to come out. So she has temper tantrums. And she has them within you. And you feel her on the inside of you, but you suppress her. So this is a time, this is a season where we have to allow the inner child to revive. And so listen, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Spirit, because of the way that I've been doing things with the energy healing for the last 4 years, Spirit was like, okay, it's time for you to put stuff in an ebook, and I did. So I'm going to tell y'all about everything that I talked about today about connecting with your inner child. I mapped it out in the Inner Child Revival. I have it in there. It's about remembering, reclaiming, and restoring your power without apology. So I'm going to share this with you, okay? If you want it, cool. If you don't want it, cool. I'm not tripping on that. If you go to the picture of me and you tap on there and you go to, let me see. Let me pull it up here. Let me go to if you go to my profile and you see my picture and you see here, I don't want to say the words because you know how TikTok be TikToking. You see that? I don't know if y'all can see it because of the glare. But it's just the middle one, the win with Liso. And you go to win with Liso. And then you hit that and you scroll. That right there. It's normally $54.99. I have it on sale for $39.99. If anybody wants it right now while I'm live, I'll put it down to $27.99. But after that, I'm putting it back up to $39.99. But right now, if you want it, let me know. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go ahead and mark it down to $27.99. And in my book, I have, it's not just a book that you read. It's something that you journey through, okay? It's something that, it's not a one and done thing. There's intuitive awareness prompts in there for you. There's embodiment rituals in there. There's soul challenges. I mean, when you do the work that's in this book, it is going to shift your life. This is stuff that I've walked through. This is my internal medicine, my heart, my soul that I put into this book. This is not something that you just read and be like, oh, that was a cute book. No, it's medicine in here. And I can guarantee you this. You do the work. Let me make sure. Yep. So I changed it. It's $27.99. Again, so if you want it, let me put a timer on. I'm only going to have it up there for 10 minutes, and I'm going to put it back up to $39.99. Hold on a sec, guys. I have been running from doing this for years. That start-stop cycle, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I started writing and put a book down. And it's been years. And this time I said no more. Got the 10-minute timer started. And let me see. Again, if you go to my profile, and you know how where it has the LINKs, and you tap that, and you go to the middle one. I'm trying to be mindful of what I say, because TikTok be TikToking. And then you hit the open, and you scroll. Is the very first option right there. And as you see, it's marked down. Oh, did it not mark down? I saved it. Nope, wait, hold on. Something didn't save. Hold on. Oh, sorry. It should be okay now. Let me see. Let me make sure. I don't want y'all to be like, it didn't save. It didn't mark down. Why is it not marking down? Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I saved it. Why is it not? Okay, it says it is that. It says it's that. Hold on. Let me go back. Maybe because I didn't hit the last thing. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it updated. I was supposed to do the next page, just update it. So let me go ahead and redo that. I'm sorry, that's on my fault, guys. That's my bus, my bad. Let me start that over. Okay. All right. So I started it over 10 minutes. So again, guys, the whole thing about you connecting back to your inner child revival, that's the freaking rebellion. That is a rebellion. And when I tell you, Spirit gave me a dream the other night. It was weird because I was in the dream. You know how in the dream you're aware of the spirit of the person, even if the person's not in the dream with you, but you know that their spirit, their energy is there. And in the dream, one of my exes was, the energy was there, and their best friend was actually in the dream. And the best friend said to me, it was like, it was weird. It was like a hotel. It was a whole bunch of women. And the best friend said to me, was trying to get with me. I was like, what are you doing? I was with your boy. And he said, oh, don't you know we pass women around here. And I was like, what? And it was a whole room full of women, filled with women being passed around from men to 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 men. And I was like, hell no, I'm not down with that. And the women were broken. The women were under that construct of thinking that their worth was tied to being picked, tied to being chosen, right? And I'm sitting in the dream like, yeah, no, I'm not with that. And I remember the hotel, it was like a big, almost like a big ballroom with chairs and tables. But the top was like a dome, like a clear glass dome. And I looked up, and it was a whole bunch of police officers. And they were looking down, and they were aiming at all the men, right? And I looked up, they were like, and so I was like, okay, because I knew they were here. They were coming to help, right? And so I made eye contact with some women, and I was like, getting them to look up. And so when they looked up, they knew that we were all about to be saved. So then the element of surprise, the police came crashing down in the dream, and the men started running, and there was a bunch of pow-pows. And I remember I ran and like went under a table. And then when one of them was coming towards me, one of the officers had a stun gun and stopped the guy, and I was able to get away. And then I woke up. I was like, what in the actual fuck was that? And that's how I got the greater clarity about what I'm doing, what this book is about. It's about a return back to your innocence. It's about helping women rise, helping the divine feminine. Like, I'm sitting here like, you want me to what? Like, you want me to talk about this stuff? Because I was fine talking about just self-sabotage and the nervous system shutting you down and knowing the difference. And so it's like, yeah, that's a part of it. But the bigger heart is you are one of the women. And if you're in here, you are also one of the women that are here to help the other women remember the truth of who they are and to access the divine feminine. Okay? And how we can look up. And when we say look up, meaning look up to higher states of consciousness. It's not looking up to the man in the sky. It's looking up to higher states of consciousness. Following your intuition is going to keep you safe. It's going to protect you. But you have to be willing to do the inner work to have that inner child revival. And that's the whole purpose of the book. To get you to tap deeper into your intuition, to get you to tap deeper into knowing the truth of who you are, to reconnect you to the little girl that's on the inside of you that has never left you. Matter of fact, that's the first chapter. She never left you. Okay? There's 12 chapters in it. And then there's a whole love alchemist creed, because I say I'm a love alchemist as a timeline architect. All the time, I don't care about the titles. It's just I understand spirit is like I have to start being okay with sharing it. It's not about trying to say, oh, I'm all qualified, but it's about the energy that they embody. What's not opening for you, babe? What's not opening for you? The link's not opening? TikTok might be bugging because we on live. It should. Were you able to go to it? Because it's opening straight for me. Like if you go here. I heard sometimes they'll do that if you live and they see people doing that, they won't let you open. And then it opens right up. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put, sorry. I did not mean to do that. Hold on. Let me see. I can't remember. I ain't comment why is this thing not? There we go. How do I comment? Nope. How do I comment? I don't remember how to comment. I ain't commenting so long on my own thing. Oh, here we go. I'm not going to put the whole thing. I'm just going to put for you to copy. You see what I just put up there? You see what I just did? And then you can add, I can't. Mm-mm. If the comment that I just pinned, if you copy that and then put the period, COM at the end of it, it should take you. It's weird that it's not letting you open it because it's opening straight for me. But I heard that they do that sometimes. I heard they do that. Like if you're on live and people go to it, that TikTok will prevent it because you have to hit that second thing where it says open. And if you don't hit that, it won't open. Like when I went here, and then I went to what I just said, when with Lisa, you have to hit that. You got it? Okay. And then it'll come, and then it should open right up. But listen, I'm so freaking proud of myself because I had been running. I can feel the tears coming. I had been running from myself for so long. And to finally be in a place where all the inner work that I have done for over 15 years, right, is finally in something that people can take and they can run with it. And they can, it's not about me, oh Lord. I started and I finished. And every time I had different things that happened, right? I didn't have the self-sabotage because I know that I'm worthy now, right? I understand that my worth now. But there's a part of me that when I got to editing the ebook, everything was fine until I got to chapter 1. When I got to chapter 1, I had brain fog. I started Netflixing and chilling and scrolling. I would try to go edit and I would fall asleep or I forget all about it. And I would just sit there like a damn zombie. And my mind is like, I need to finish editing. And I couldn't move. And it took me tapping in to understand that I was like, why am I how did I get back to self-sabotage and found out that I was a self-sabotager, that my nervous system was shutting me down to protect me. So I don't specifically talk about nervous system in the ebook, but I have you do different things to help bring regulation to your nervous system. Because I wanted to keep it heart-centered, spirit-centered, but the different embodiment rituals that are in there's an embodiment ritual in every chapter. There's journal prompts to help you tap into your intuition deeper every chapter, and there's 12 chapters. There is soul challenges for you to connect with the inner child every chapter. And so even if you go through the whole thing one time, you go back again, it's going to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's not a one and done book. I had actually, I was bugging out because I was like, how is it that I could write it, but when it came to editing it, I froze. Right? Thank you, Cassie. But that's when I got the understanding. It was because my nervous system was wired to keep me at a set point. And so it felt like danger. And that, earlier today, I don't know if you was in here, I said how your nervous system doesn't have the same logic as your mind. You know, in your mind, you're like, hold on. In your mind, you're like, okay, that's 10 minutes. Sorry. Let me stop. Okay. So 10 minutes is up. Is anybody looking at it? Because if not, I'm getting ready to put the price back up to $39.99. Let me know. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. All right. Uh-oh. Hold on. Good. I wake up every day feeling good. Putting it back up to $39.99. All right. Okay. It's back up to $39.99. Thank you guys. So, all right. What was I saying? The nervous system. Your nervous system is conditioned to keep you at a certain point, right? And in your mind, you're like, okay, I want abundance, I want peace, I want love, I want joy. But your nervous system sees any of those as danger, as we don't know how to do that. It will stop you every single time. If you've been in here with me before, you know I shared about the story about my father leaving when I was 4. And because of him leaving when I was 4, that one moment, that first argument that I never heard before, right? First time I ever heard my mom and dad argue, my dad left and walked right past me, didn't say goodbye, right? That hardwired my nervous system to not argue with people, to avoid conflict because people would abandon me, people would leave me. And also to see my mom crying, coming out holding the big red Catholic Bible, and she dragged me into the living room, told me to get down on my knees in front of the green army couch, and she opened it up and she was praying to God, and she had money and she was holding up to the heavens. That taught me if you need money, you have to be in a heartbroken, type of situation, and you have to beg and plead and hope God gives you money. This is why I've struggled with money all my life. From that time when I was 4, because my nervous system hardwired that. And I didn't have, the mental capacity at that age to have analytical, critical thinking skills to understand, okay, this has really nothing to do with me. I internalized all of that. So that's why as I got older, and as you get older, if you see you have patterns and cycles and loops that you repeat, but every time they repeat and you be like, dang, I thought I got through this. And you keep repeating it and repeating it. And every time you repeat it, you have a breakthrough, right? And then you come back and you find yourself in the same spot, and then it's worse than it was before. The cycle is worse than it was before. You find yourself in a worse position than you was before, and you don't understand it. That's because your nervous system is hardwired for like a level 3, but you're trying to get to level 10. Your nervous system is not going to allow it until you love it into knowing that you are safe. I didn't know that. I thought I was so self-sabotaging this whole time. I was like, damn, why am I self-sabotaging again? Why am I know I'm worthy. So if you have a worthiness issue, if you really don't think that you're worthy and you do the start-stop cycle, yeah, it's self-sabotage. But if you know, and I mean really know that you're worthy, not just saying it, but you know that you're worthy, but like, it feels like your body's betraying you. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, why am I not doing the things I need to do? You'll literally have the thought, but you'll be sitting there frozen like, I ain't doing it. Like, why am I not doing what I need to do, what I want to do? Because your body sees that as a risk. It sees it as danger. So your nervous system is going to do anything and everything to keep you alive. And if all it knows is struggle and survival, it doesn't understand freedom is safe. It doesn't understand love is safe. It doesn't understand peace is safe. This is why when you see women who are in relationships that are abusive and you say, why don't you just leave? It's not that easy. They want to. They want to, right? But their nervous system is, even though they're unhappy and they're miserable and they're broken and they want to escape, their body won't let them. When you start understanding the nervous system, yes, and waiting for the next ball to drop. When you start understanding the nervous system is another layer of healing. Yes, we have to think about it. We have to do the mind work, right? Where we're mind, we're soul, and body. Everybody makes the body. I shouldn't say everybody. Most people, self included, thought the body, taking care of the body was just the food that we eat, the things that we drink, moving our body. And yes, that's all a role. But nobody really talks about the nervous system. You hear it, But I have never heard anybody really break down, oh, your just nervous system needs to be regulated. Okay, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean? My nervous system needs to be regulated. I have never heard, and I know my experience is just my experience. Maybe you've heard people teaching on it. I just had not been exposed to it. All I heard was your nervous system needs to be regulated. Can you please explain to me what the hell that means? And I just be like, oh, okay. I had no clue. I'm the first. Thank you. Thank you. So the nervous system is the hard wiring. Your system is wired for a set point. That's why when you try to go up against it, your body, you feel like your body's betraying you. You be like, what the hell? I don't remember things. I'm having brain fog. You going to the doctor. This ain't nothing wrong with you. But it's your nervous system is like, we know survival. We know how to survive in lack. So we're going, and your mind is like, look, the lack is stressful as fuck. Nobody want to be behind on bills every month. You know how expensive that is? It's bad enough when you can't pay your bills on time. Now it costs you more money because, you know, they racking up the late fees, right? So you got the stress of you're already late. And now you got to pay more money. You already don't have the bill money, but now you got to pay more money. And then you get the disconnect notices. You get the eviction filings or the eviction notices. You get the cars repossessed. I've been through all of that. And you don't understand why. Nervous system reset. And this is why when you can have a good paying job and you're doing it's like, oh my God, you're finally free. Because you haven't done the nervous body work to train your body that you're safe with abundance. You see yourself, you throw it away. Like, meaning like you overspend, you do all this other stuff to self-sabotage. You're thinking now there does need to be a mindset shift, but your body is going to put you in situations or cause you to do the things that's going to put you right back to where it feels safe. Not in this details, not in that details. I kept it on a spiritual, emotional thing, but some of the embodiment rituals and some of the soul challenges is to do it without telling you that's what I'm doing. And then also in the book, I created a group on the Book of Faces where for anybody who has the book, it's going to be a free community, a sacred community, and we're going to have these type of in-depth conversations for free. And the only thing is they had to have purchased the book. That's it. And it's on the Book of Faces for now. Like I have to start putting more, I have to like actually put content in it. But with these, like when I'm telling you now, I just feel guided to say it to you right now. But we're going to have those in-depth conversations. So the detail about it is not in the book, but embodiment rituals and soul challenges they're exercises to have you doing it and you don't even realize that that's what you're doing. Does that make sense? So like I have nervous system work in there without breaking down that that's what I'm doing. What's your Book of Faces so I can follow? Oh, it's my first name. And if you go to that where you went, it's connected. If you go, where I showed you to go, oh dang it. Sorry, I went to the wrong thing. When somebody you're trying to go on your phone and they do the whole thing. If you go underneath it, I have it right there. You get what I'm saying? It's right there. TikTok's there. Book of Faces is right there. And you can connect that way. And let me know what yours is so I can connect back. I've been on here more. I haven't even done anything on there. I need to get back on there. But I'm going to start doing my content and posting it in there as well. But yeah. And I'm also working on a free gift for everyone who purchase it. It's not finished, but it's going to be a graphic that talks about this stuff with self-sabotage versus your nervous system shutting you down. So at first I was going to do it as just a freebie, and I might still do that, but anyone who purchases the book, I'm going to make sure that they get it. Because I feel people need to know this stuff, because I didn't know. I thought this whole time I was so self-sabotaging. I don't know why, because I'm like, why am I still doing this? Like, sent requests. Okay. Um, ba, 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 ba. Cassandra, right? I just accepted. I be forgetting that's a friend request. I accepted, boo. I accepted. So, guys, I thank you for spending time with me. I'm going to eat lunch because it's after. You're welcome. I didn't realize it was after 3. Last time I looked at the time, it said 2:40, and it's 3:15. I'm like 3:14, and I'm like, damn, that went fast. But listen, guys, that little girl on the inside of you, the little boy on the inside of you, is just waiting for you to reconnect, right? You too, boo. I love you all. Today is Friday, yeah. Make sure, like, if you look at my bio, you see I changed it and to talk about what I'm really doing now. So if you're following me, make sure you have all the notifications to live, especially for lives or content, because I'm starting to do daily content, holding myself accountable, but also I used to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12:30 p.m. As you see, it's been later. Sometimes I don't go live because I have been integrating all of this. And so now it's like Spirit is like, okay, you need to shift, because even my original TikTok bio, it was like all about being a live host, right? Thinking, oh, I'm gonna be a live host. Yeah, I do. I'm a live host, but I'm a healer, a teacher, a seer who goes live. And so I had to switch that. The whole thing in the beginning was to get me out of the fear of going live, and then also to create the discipline. But now I have to flow with Spirit. So please have your notifications set to all. So then that way, it's probably still going to be those 3 days, but the times might be different based on how I'm being guided now. So Spirit is like, have the structure of the masculine, but the flow of the feminine. That's the unity, the two becoming one. It's having the structure of the divine masculine, but the flow of the divine feminine within you. The unification within you. You tapping back into that little girl who's already unified, right? And nurturing her, loving her, and allowing yourself to be guided by Spirit. And you're gonna find yourself having the structure that you need, but it won't be rigid. You'll be able to flow through the structure, and it'll seem like chaos. It can seem like chaos, but it's order, because you're being guided by Spirit. So I love you all, and I will be back next week unless Spirit tells me to come on sooner. But love you all. Mwah. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.